Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Okami. Silver Falcon and Cichlidae back again for another Devil Gate challenge.
Woohoo.
Oh yes, I'm sure you're excited.
Yep.
This next one is in North Ryoshima Coast.
I understand it takes a little while to get there, so you were going to ask me about Zelda?
I thought we'd save that for when we're actually doing the Devil Gate, because it's just going to be a long period of downtime. I mean, we're not even to the place yet.
Yep, and you gotta ride on the back of a giant cetacean to get there.
Exactly, yes, Orca. Orca, the emissary of the Dragon Palace. He's really cute.
I mean, I guess you can only see his saddle, really.
No, you can see his face when you go into water, just watch. There he is.
I wonder if this is a common means of transportation.
I'd imagine not.
What happens if you listen to him? Does he tell salty sea stories?
No, he doesn't really say much. He just says, "Hey, you want to go to the Dragon Palace?" Anyway, the next grotto, or whatever you want to call this, is right here. On one of the islands out to sea.
Time to get out the tungsten carbide claws.
Exactly. Claws of pure tungsten carbide.
And there's the purple haze.
Yep, that looks familiar, huh?
What kind of awful boss monster will you have to fight this? Aw, not this guy again.
Another bandit spider, yes.
That's lame.
Yes, I forgot to mention this directly, but these things are called bandit spiders. Palace swap of the Spider Queen. Eh.
Well, I'm sure you'll get through this one without getting hurt.
Oh, I think that's a given.
You're basically a pro at spider squishing at this point.
So, with the amount of practice I have had against these things, yeah.
That's two.
It wasn't even all that challenging back when it was an actual, you know, boss. And you know, now I've got all the brush techniques, overpowered weapons, so much ink, so much health. Now you see.
Alright, time to destroy those little lanterns that look like grubs.
I still have no idea what's up with that.
This boss is way too easy. Look how long you spend and all the times you miss it, and still it doesn't even matter.
Oh well.
And then you get a ridiculous amount of cash on top of it.
Well, you know, that's a good thing, isn't it?
I guess so. Gives you what, 20 grand?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so another 9 of those and you'd be able to afford Brown Rage.
Exactly. See, that's looking on the bright side of it.
Yep, which is kind of like Black Rage, except without the racial connotation.
Oh, yes, I guess. And more poop.
You only need one more of these and I guess you'll be finished?
Yep, the penultimate sun fragment in the entire game.
I bet you I can figure out where it is.
I bet you could too, and I bet everybody listening could as well.
I think even the guys who aren't listening could.
Probably. And you know the drill. We go back in the hole.
So why is it called a Devil Gate?
I think because it contains demons.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think it's supposed to be a gateway to the demon dimension.
Alright, got these guys that you said are carrying bells, which are actually cannons.
The Bell Guardians, yeah, they seem to be able to use it as a cannon.
Kinda bizarre.
It kinda is, I guess. But kinda cool too. I mean, wouldn't you like to have a bell that also doubled as a cannon?
I'd never use it as a bell.
Exactly, see? But it's like, it's camouflage, right? 'Cause no one knows you actually have a cannon until you put it on your shoulder and fire it off.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise they think you're just gonna make a big loud noise with a bell.
Well, you get to fight these guys for like 10 minutes, so I guess now's a good time to chat about that other game with the protagonist wearing green.
Ambi doesn't wear green, but she doesn't talk like Link does, so yeah, I think that's a good time to talk about it. You play Zelda games too, don't you, Cichlidae?
On occasion.
Yeah, which one is your favorite?
My favorite is actually the most recent one I played, which is Minish Cap.
Uh-huh, that's on the Game Boy Advance, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that one. That one was fun.
Yeah. My first Zelda game was Link's Awakening, and Minish Cap reminded me of that a lot, so it was a good feeling. Yeah,
it does have that kind of nostalgic feeling to it. I am kind of a latecomer to the Zelda series. My first Zelda game was Ocarina of Time. I did actually own an SNES in the early 90s. I had Super Mario World, which was absolutely the best. I love that game. But for some reason, I just never picked up on The Legend of Zelda. Never knew about it.
Well, you're still lucky because I had an Atari 2600 and a ColecoVision. My parents wouldn't even let us use them.
Yeah, the SNES was our first video game system. My dad brought it home one day after he settled a big case. My dad was an attorney.
The ColecoVision had one really fun game. It was kind of like a proto SimCity. And that's about all I remember.
Well, you probably really like the SimCity games being a traffic engineer, right?
Of course. That's how I learned to become a traffic engineer.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff that we use on a day-to-day basis, you can get a pretty good feel for it just by playing a lot of SimCity.
All I know about SimCity really is, you can't cut back on funding, you will regret this!
Well, there are all those chumps that are like, I want to have a job in the video game industry, and being a traffic engineer is about as close to that as you can actually be without working in the industry.
Interesting. I guess I never thought of it that way.
Yes, the world is your oyster. You can just go out and stick roads wherever you feel like it, and route cars to different places. Usually they won't pay any attention to you, just like in SimCity.
Yes, in video games though, you don't have to deal with NIMBY. NIMBY being not in my backyard.
Yeah, my bane.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm an environmental scientist, so I have to deal with that kind of crap too.
Alright, that's one down.
Yep. Pop a couple of holy bones, and we'll go right back in.
Are those like Milky Bones?
Well, you know, I don't really know where they come from. Because it's not like Nippon has, manufactories for dog treats or something.
Oh, look at that. It's the wagon wheels again.
Right, exactly. Like you said, the worst way to spend your afterlife, right?
Yeah, these guys were at the lowest rungs on the karmic ladder, and now they have to spend their entire reincarnated life running through mud and piles of dog poop on the street.
And probably human poop, too. This is feudal Japan, after all.
Yep.
Did feudal Japan have terribly good sanitation? I can't imagine it would.
I've got no idea, but I bet there are a dozen people in your thread who can tell you all about it.
I'm sure. Well, Thread, tell us, how were sanitation methods in feudal Japan?
I can tell you all about sanitation methods in medieval Europe.
Well, I hope no one here has not eaten dinner yet. If you haven't, you might want to pause before he goes into this, but go ahead.
Nah, that's all kind of boring stuff anyway. Just let's put it one way. They used to think that diseases were caused by bad smells. So their whole idea was, just dump the sewage in the river and then we won't have to smell it anymore.
The environmental scientist in me weeps at that.
So, these two are different elemental wheels than the ones you fought before?
Yes, indeedy. These are the thunder and earth flavored wheels.
Seems like you didn't have any trouble with them.
No, Veil of Mist makes pretty short work of them. Actually, it makes pretty short work of everything. I'm not gonna lie.
Seems like it's the best technique out there.
I think you could really make a pretty good case that it is.
Alright, on to number 3.
Yep.
What are these things?
Well, we got more headless guys. And the Ubume, which is the female version of the Crow Tengu we fought last time.
I see. I hope being headless isn't contagious.
Well, if you're the Headless Horseman, you can probably make it contagious.
So what are those things they carry on their backs?
It seems to me kind of the backing for when the statue is mounted in the ground. You know how they have usually like a slab behind them?
Oh yeah, I'm really familiar with that. Back in my hometown, every year around Christmas time, people would set up creches. And it was, you know, kind of tough to actually do it legit, so what they did was they took an old bathtub, buried the bottom half, and stuck everything inside.
That seems terribly ghetto.
You know, I think it's just people being thrifty. What else are you going to use a spare bathtub for?
Good point. Now, they bury it sideways?
They bury it the tall way so that it sticks up a good 3 or 4 feet above the ground.
Oh.
Just enough room for one of those Virgin Mary statues you can find at Christmas stores.
How big were they?
I don't know, 3 feet. And then if they really were feeling the Christmas spirit, I guess they could get one of those creepy animatronic Santa puppets.
Oh yeah, I like the ones that dance.
I really don't. I hated all of those puppets. They scare the crap out of me as a kid. Just the jerky, slow way that they move.
Uh-huh.
It's like Santa's a serial killer and he's just waiting.
You have an active imagination.
I was a kid.
Yeah, I guess we kind of all were like that as kids.
You can just picture, instead of his lantern and bell, he's actually holding a cleaver and a pail.
Oh dear.
He's just waiting.
It reminds me of Santa Cut. You remember Santa Cut?
I do remember Santa Cut. That's the best story.
I think the best stories come out of something awful. They really do.
They do.
Oh yay, these jerks.
Yep, number 4. Tell me about them.
Jiro and Saburo. They are huge assholes. Notice how the lovely lady is trying to dig a hole? Yeah, you don't want to let her do that.
I saw them in your bestiary. It's like they're two halves of a shark.
Exactly. If Jiro succeeds in digging a hole, she'll flood the arena, and then she and Saburo will let their powers combine and turn into a giant possessed shark.
Interesting how it throws off ginkgo leaves when you hit them.
Yeah, I never noticed that, but you're right.
Alright, that's 4 down. 6 to go.
Also, they throw cherry blossom petals as well.
I wouldn't know what a cherry blossom looks like.
Well, I wouldn't either, but I assume that's what it is. It's pink, it's a flower, it's Japanese.
Now what are these big gears?
No, these are mirrors. Very large mirrors. Originally, you find them in the Imperial Palace when you're small, Amy. So they would be about the size of a little handheld mirror. But I guess since we're in a Devil Gate, the laws of reality don't apply, and they're full size now.
Well, they look like wagon wheels to me. Slightly different.
Well, yeah, they're basically just like the elemental wheels. They come in all the elemental flavors. And they have different faces on them.
Faces?
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't it be your face since it's a mirror?
Well, they're possessed mirrors, so there are different spirits trapped in the mirrors. I think the ice one was a lady, some kind of high-class lady who acted really cold towards everybody, and she got trapped in the mirror forever.
Ah, so it is a metaphor.
Yes, and that guy's the wind mirror. He's an old man who lectures the youth about how lazy they are.
Yeah, like a wind bag.
Right, exactly. The thunder-flavored one was the ghost of an actor who never wanted to leave the stage. And he went into a mirror, I guess, so he could keep an eye on the next generation of actors.
These all sound like pretty awful people. Kinda glad you're getting rid of them.
Yeah, well, they're trapped in a mirror for all eternity, so you don't get that kind of stuff happening to you unless you deserve it.
So what's that, 5 down?
I believe so.
It's bonin' time!
It is bonin' time. Hopefully no psycho cat mind control waves.
And back to the gate.
And anybody just watching this on YouTube is gonna have no idea what we're talking about.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Children, stay innocent.
Yes, just, yeah. Keep your innocence while you can.
More of these bathtub douches.
Yep, I don't know why we have to fight so many headless gargoyles. Well, actually I do, it's a Devil Gate.
Its whole job is to just piss you off.
Right. Oh, I didn't mention, but the second Devil Gate contains all the enemies from Act 2.
That sounds appropriate.
Pretty much.
Watch this, I bet you don't get hurt the whole time you're fighting these things.
I think that's a safe bet. These guys aren't too tough.
Yeah, they seem to follow the Kung Fu movie school of martial arts, which is, oh no, the good guy's coming in to raid our fortress. Let's all attack him slowly and one by one.
Exactly.
I'll just stand here and wait for him to come after me.
And there's also the rule of ninjas.
Yep, the more there are, the weaker they are.
Right. The power of each individual ninja is inversely proportional to how many ninjas there are.
Well, that must mean these things are incredibly weak.
Yes. And, interestingly, the Canine Warriors also follow that rule, if you notice.
So what's the flying one?
Oh yeah, that guy's a Halo Guardian. He's basically a green palette swap of the blue imp, which we saw last time. Those are the kite guys. You liked them?
Except he doesn't have a kite. He has something weird on his back.
Yeah, a spinning wheel that keeps him aloft. I guess he's kind of like a helicopter.
Come on, one more bomb. Let's go for the trifecta. Kaboom! Nice!
Bakugami was very kind to me.
Bombs will never not be fun.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
And how many of these things are there?
I'm sure someone on the internet has quantified how many monsters are in each double gate. I didn't bother counting, I just say, here be bitches, I beat them up.
I bet you get a real payday after this one.
Yes, the double gate trials pay very, very well. Just as an idle thing, keep track of my yen total as we move up in double gates. I think you'll be surprised.
Yeah, we had about 140 when we started the last video and dropped down to like, what, 50,000, 40,000?
Well, I had a million when I went on my spending spree to prepare for the double gates, which put me, I think, 500,000, I think, was when I started, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And we're already up to 780,000, so yeah, we're getting up there.
Yep. Not bad.
No, not bad at all. I mean, for all the pain in the ass it is, it does pay well, I'll give it that.
Would you go do it recreationally?
No, I really wouldn't. Doing it once is enough for me.
Yep, you only get the stray bead once.
Exactly, so what's the point?
So what happens when those things turn into rock?
I don't know. I guess, if they ever get their head back, they might just go back to being normal statues.
Interesting.
But since these things, lost their head, I don't know how that whole thing works. I'm not I would even call it,
It's a lot of money.
someone who studies ghosts, you know? Like a Ghostbuster. I'm not a Ghostbuster.
Well, you sure bust them.
I sure do, but, oh, more wheels.
I'm picking up on a theme here.
Ah, yeah, but these guys are special. They're poltergeists.
They don't look like poltergeists.
They really aren't poltergeists. It's one of the weirder name choices. These things, you know, poltergeists are mischievous ghosts that make noise and move objects around, you know, like in the movie.
Yep.
Except they also did something with a doll.
Yeah, oh god, that movie was great.
I never actually saw it.
Oh, you're missing out. It's kind of fun. It's a really humorous movie if you watch it, you know, with other people.
You maybe will have to try that sometime.
Yeah. Honestly, the special effects... See, look, you just zapped those guys with your fire.
Oh yeah, I did remember that solar flare is fire elemental. How about that?
Uh-huh. Well, you'll forget it in about 5 seconds and never remember it for the rest of the video.
Yeah, thanks. Spoilers.
Yep.
Spoilers! I have a derp moment.
Yep.
But like I was saying, these guys, if you look at Japanese mythology, they're actually kamitachis. I have no idea how to pronounce that, and I don't care. They're a set of 3 weasels with sickles. They look for unsuspecting victims. The first weasel knocks the victim down, the second one cuts him open, and the third closes up the wound. So what the victim ends up with is a painful spot on their body that doesn't bleed.
Well, I know not to mess with Japanese weasels.
That probably would be wise.
Yeah, weasels have always been kind of scary. You ever listen to the Pop Goes the Weasel song? And I mean, like, really listen to it, man?
Not really.
Because the weasel's flipping out and eating the monkey.
I guess he is, but why did the weasel go pop then?
Because they got pissed off at being chased around the cobbler's bench by a monkey, I guess. I would,
so.
too.
Or maybe the cobbler shot him.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know, cobblers have to deal with a lot of shit, you know? They gotta look at feet all day.
Yep, well, how'd they even get a weasel in a cobbler shop?
I don't know. Oh, you'll notice here I had a bit of trouble with Fireburst.
Yeah, it's performance anxiety.
Now, the problem is, if you're dealing with an enemy that has ice elemental property and you try to do Fireburst over it, there's a good chance that the game will think you're trying to do Blizzard, which is fucking useless, instead of Fireburst, which you want it to do. And of course, like Cichlidae said, I just forgot that I had a big round Source of Inferno strapped to my back. Performance anxiety, like you said.
So now you're changing their element.
Right, if you power slash them, they'll change their element if you want something easier to deal with. Or just smack them. Those two.
Personally, I'm partial to the just smack 'em philosophy.
Ah yes, but you don't want to use cherry bombs on them, because if you do, they split up, and they all attack you in 3s instead of 1 at a time.
Bone in time!
Bone in time. I got plenty of bones.
Awesome.
I really do wonder where they come from, though.
And, well, if they're that cheap, you have to assume that they're a pretty easy source. I figure it's like mellified man that they used to sell in the Orient and in the Middle East.
Mellified. Oh, like the dead bodies soaked in honey?
Yeah.
People do some really messed up stuff.
They do. But you know what? That's folk medicine.
Yeah.
So what are these ugly SOBs?
Blue Cyclops. And some of their attacks are fire-based, so I'm gonna equip the fire tablet.
Sounds like a good choice.
Yeah, it doesn't protect me from all of their attacks, but they drop that, you can see behind that guy, it's a ball of fire, and it just stays there, and if you touch it, it hurts you. But if you have the fire tablet equipped, it won't hurt you.
Yep. Well, if you leave these guys alone for long enough, they'll probably die of lung cancer.
Yes, well, that won't kill them nearly fast enough for my process. You do have to watch out for these things. I don't think any of them actually do it, but if their pipe goes out, they enter chaos mode, and then they're invincible. Which, of course, would make this video take longer, because obviously if they're invincible, I can't kill them.
Well, you're getting hurt plenty as is.
Exactly. I do not need that kind of bullshit.
Seriously, they look like gigantic birds with flaming sticks sticking out of their bellies.
They kind of do, except the whole blue part is their face.
Yeah. Weird.
Japan. What do you expect?
So what are those sunglasses you keep getting when you kill things?
Sunglasses? Oh, no, those are ink pots.
Ah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's handy, but with the golden ink pot, I recharge ink at a pretty good rate.
And you have that Inkfinity lying around if you ever need that, which I don't think you will.
I do have 30 of them, and I never end up using them. Maybe for the final boss.
Maybe, or you could just pawn them.
Yeah, I guess. It's not like I need the money either, though. So, what number are we on now?
I think we have 2 left. Ooh!
I think you might be right.
They're cute.
Good.
Cute and deadly.
Yep, tube foxes.
You've already been hurt 3 times.
Yeah, these things are nasty. I don't like them.
How many are there?
There should be 9 of them. 1 for each of Ninetails' tails.
Oh, they seem as susceptible to bombs as anything else?
Right, and even more so, because they tend to crowd around you. So, fire off a couple of cherry bombs and you'll get a whole bunch of them at once.
Yeah, you lost half your health in like 20 seconds, so Vengeance Slip is definitely a good call there.
Yeah, I think so. This is where I start to break out the Vengeance Slips.
When I see Tube Fox, I can't help but thinking of Tube Socks.
You know what? I never actually made that connection, but that's kind of funny.
Yep.
They're not like regular foxes. These guys are evil.
They look so annoying.
And according to their bestiary entry, these things spread disease.
So they're rabbit foxes.
Precisely. Even worse.
Well, they drop money just like anything else.
Money, ink, flower petals.
And they blow up just like anything else.
Exactly.
Seems like there's a lot more than 9 of them, though.
Yeah, there might be a double set, considering this is the Devil Gate Challenge. I never actually counted. Because I don't have time to count. I'm too busy beating them up.
Alright, well again, we'll leave that to some attentive person to count them for you.
Perhaps. Oh look, they're draining my ink, do you see?
Man, that's awful.
Yep.
What horrible little creatures.
I know, they're awful. But any attack will cause them to stop draining your ink. You can power slash them, throw a bomb in their face,
doing it again.
Smack them. Or if they succeed in draining your ink, you can also just run up and headbutt them.
That works.
Jerks. Fortunately, since I have the golden ink pot, my ink recharges very quickly, and Amy is not inkless for long. Because as we know, an inkless Amy is a useless Amy.
I definitely agree with that one.
I mean, it's her whole thing, right? So she can't use any ink. What does she have? Nothing. You're washed up, Amy.
So many of these little things.
I know.
Just everywhere.
They are, and they keep going through my godhood with jerks.
Trying to rabies you.
Right. With their little masks that look just like the fox rods.
Well, there's one really good thing about these guys.
Yeah?
They look absolutely adorable when they die.
Yeah, when they go straight up and then, then go and do like a plank.
Yeah, basically, they just plank straight into the ground.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's like all those videos of Skate 3 we were watching today.
Oh, yes.
Crunk.
If any of you keep up with the glitches thread, or if you don't, please do. It's hilarious, the things they do in Skate.
Awful game.
It doesn't hold a candle to this game, does it? This game is good.
Yep, in this game you can't phase through the floor by doing just about anything.
And if you step just the wrong way, you end up, glitching around, looking like you're having a seizure all over the floor.
Mm-hmm. So what are those pink flares just lying around there?
That is Foxfire.
Mm-hmm. I'm not familiar with Foxfire.
Well, according to legend, these kind of evil foxes will light the ends of their tails like a torch, and lead travelers astray in forests and swamps to their doom.
Man, they really are horrible.
They are.
What's that little wormy thing next to your damage? That must be the worst.
It is. It is. I'm sorry. Not my finest moment.
How's this supposed to be a 100% run if you don't beat every boss perfectly?
I beat them mostly perfectly.
I think these are the most hideous things I've seen so far.
Oh, if you think they're hideous now, wait until I knock their mask off.
Please don't.
I'm afraid I'm going to. It's already a foregone conclusion. It's already been reported, man.
Oh no. I really like how to do Veil of Mist you have to draw a little pause symbol.
That is kind of cute. Anyway, when they're stunned, you power slash them, and their mask falls away. You can see their true form.
What do they look like? Oh my god, it's my grandma.
Your grandma?
She looks like that.
I've seen your grandma, and she does not look like that.
You haven't seen her before she puts her face on.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, old people are scary.
They are.
It's gonna suck getting old.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we could always go find some holy bones, and then we'd be youthful forever.
Well, to do that, I think you'd have to become a god.
I'll find a way.
Maybe you will. You are kind of a smart guy, aren't you?
Yeah, look at the schnoz on those things.
Yeah, not bad.
It's like 2 feet wide.
Yeah, they got nothing on Shrek. Well, Shrek has nothing on them.
They have 6 limbs, too, which makes me very angry. It's like those people who draw dragons with 4 legs and wings.
So?
So, that makes no sense. Vertebrates are supposed to be quadrupeds. Even fish have those 4 little thingies. I know they have a lot more fins than that, but you can break them out into
maybe a dragon's wings are modified fins.
But they have bones in them.
Maybe they're actually spines and not bones.
Well, I guess I have to go find a dragon and tell him that he's unrealistic.
Good luck with that. I really wouldn't try it, even a little dragon like Spyro.
Well, as far as these ugly, ugly ogres, I can feel free to tell them they look like they fell out of someone's butt.
They look like they got beaten with the ugly stick, like the butt ogres.
They're carrying ugly sticks and they're trying to beat you with them.
Well, hopefully they won't succeed, because I don't want to look like that.
Look at you not able to do your fire thing.
I know. Once again, I am wearing a Source of Inferno. Why am I doing that?
I don't even know why you bother with the fire thing, because it barely hurts them.
I guess because... Well, the blue ogres are ice elemental, weak to fire. So, use fire. And of course, you can figure that the red ogres would be...
I bet they're fire elementals and weak to ice.
You are correct. Also, they're both vulnerable to thunder. But I don't have access to thunder right now, so...
Well, there is some good news.
Uh-huh.
This is the last trial for this Devil Gate.
Thank you, God.
Yep.
And after this, there's only one left.
Yeah, I know. Just the one stray beat along with it.
Yeah, can you believe it?
And then what do you have left? Just to fight the final boss?
Yeah, there's final bosses.
Oh, I see.
It's a boss rush. We will see it when we get there. And I believe Cichlidae will be joining me again for that.
Yep. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you can just leave them in the thread and I will see if I can answer them next time.
Yes, good idea. That'll give us something to talk about next time.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's not going to be very lively.
No. In fact, I'm going to share a secret with you. My raw video for recording that was over an hour. And no, I am not going to make you guys sit through me beating on bitches for an hour. No, I sped it up.
Well, how many hours have they watched already of you beating on bitches?
Well, that's different. I'm doing other stuff whilst beating on bitches.
Ah, yes. I guess if you're just stuck in a little circle fighting them for a while.
Yeah, it's boring.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas, you know, I go and explore things, I find treasure, I talk to people, I'd like to think I'm slightly interesting.
Yep, and you even do cute little barkies when you perform a specifically difficult task.
And I make references to things, you know.
Uh-huh.
I try. I really do.
Yes, I love your fish puns, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad someone appreciates them.
I think my favorite one is Starfish.
Starfish, master of disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know. I am a huge nerd. A huge, huge nerd. Don't care.
Well, 2/3 of the people in your thread probably don't understand, but Posaster is a scientific term for starfish.
Exactly. It's their, genus.
I don't know, is it? You're the scientist.
I think it's their genus, yeah.
I just make roads.
Well, you know stuff, also.
That's true. I probably know a lot more about fish than you do.
Well, yes, because you used to breed fish as a young'un, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm even named after them on something awful.
Exactly. Oh, that's it. That's the last guy.
Sweet. Let's see
right.
a little victory dance.
Woohoo! Oh, there's my peach. Nope. Oh, I missed it.
Oh well.
I missed it.
Who cares?
I don't need it anyway. Let's go get my prize.
Still not the most bullshit stray bead in the game.
Nope, and the next one isn't either. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me, Cichlidae, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time for the last Devil Gate.